Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, we're going to be going over some of the recent news and posts. Some interesting things have happened, and of course our holiday event has got announced, so we got to cover what the rewards are like for that, you know. But there's also a very exciting event taking place that is run by the Final Fantasy XIV community itself, and it's taking place December 30th and 31st, but there will be more about that in the creative community of Final Fantasy XIV in general coming during the show. I am one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Poperomo. Of course, joining me is Sly, aka Slythefox, aka Sly, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing? All right.
I'm doing awesome. Happy holidays.
You're doing awesome, dude. The holidays. We have another show before it's even Christmas.
Happy holidays.
No, not yet. No happy holidays. Fuck your holidays. Not till next week do you get to have happy holidays.
I gotta be so PC. God damn.
You can't have holidays.
You can't let me have a happy holidays.
No, save it for next week when it's more applicable. I guess if you're gonna say happy holidays, at least do Hanukkah this week and then Christmas next week, and then we can do New Year's the week after that.
Again, the umbrella of happy holidays.
Yeah, but you're just being lazy and getting it all out of the way now, like weeks in advance.
That's not being lazy.
Like, shit, I hope I don't forget. Happy holidays, whatever. Fuck it. That way I don't got to remember it for the next.
I know. Hashtag Hap Grinch right here. Hap Humbug.
No, I'm not saying don't have a happy holidays. I'm saying don't fucking have it before the holidays even here. Wait till the holidays here, and then you can have a happy holidays. He's one of those people that opens Christmas gifts on like the 19th, and then he's like, I don't understand why everyone makes such a big deal.
No, it's Christmas Eve, and I only get one. That's the rule.
That's the rule. Do you have a Christmas tree, Sly?
Nah.
We have a Christmas tree, so fuck you, because we're way ahead of you holiday-wise.
No, I actually have a Christmas tree. It's like one of those pitiful Charlie Brown-looking trees. That
is there going to be a small child with a football under it?
Probably.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure that's how this all works. Okay. So anyway, Sly, after the whopper of a show last week, this week's going to be much calmer.
Yeah.
Much not 3 hours either. I can almost guarantee the show will not be 3 hours this week. Sly, if you make me sit here for 3 hours without the LVR cast here, I will be upset with you. Because if they're here,
done it before. Shut up.
If they're here, it's understandable.
We've done it before.
That it's 3 hours. If it's just you and me, we're making up some bullshit to be sitting here for 3 hours. Okay, there you go. So anyway, we wanted to grab a few things that are happening in the game itself, some recent events, as well as some stuff that we just want to highlight that's going to be going on here at the end of 2016. It's the end of 2016 already, dude. It's crazy. Happy holidays.
It's gonna mind. And I can't say shit. Fuck you.
If only you knew how long I've been planning that. Anyway, yeah, I didn't get to bed at like 3:34 a.m. thinking of that one last night. Anyway, so first things first. It feels like it's a little bit later than it's supposed to be this year, but we finally got details about the Starlight celebration. I
don't know if it feels later.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. People have been asking about it for weeks, so I guess maybe like almost by extension, I felt like it was later just because so many people were asking, "Where's the details? Where's the details? Where's the details on it?" And but we have the details finally. And okay, so the big thing about the Starlight celebration that I'm looking forward to, first of all, it starts Thursday, December 15th, and it ends New Year's Eve at 7 a.m. So Saturday, December 31st at 7 a.m. So they know you're going to get drunk that night and not remember to finish it, so they're doing you a courtesy and ending it the day before. The big question I have here is, how does the Starlight celebration end up stacking up against the Halloween event, which I think most of us can kind of agree was the highest quality event, seasonal event that they've done up till this point?
If it's anything like last year, probably it probably won't stack up to the Halloween event.
I don't even remember what last year's was. I remember the
bells. People making a shit ton of bells and making a lot of money off of fucking bells.
See, all I remember is that the one where we had to go around to the different Christmas trees in the housing districts, and I don't even remember. Like people had to put up different.
I remember
trees.
the one thing I did remember that it did feature a few of the guildmasters from the crafting guilds.
See, I think last year's Starlight Celebration, now that I'm remembering it, that's at least somewhat better than most of the other events that we've seen. Like asking you to go to a housing district and look around and kind of admire the housing districts that nobody fucking actually admires ever was kind of nice. But in terms of it,
I don't know,
no, the Christmas trees. My chat's telling me Christmas trees was 2 years ago. I don't fucking remember. I don't know.
St. Valentine's Day was pretty good in terms of actual seasonal events. Because the whole tarot thing, the St. Valentine's Day, and you got a bed out of it.
Oh yeah, that's totally something I look forward to. Anyway, that's something that I'm so happy was the thing. That's great. Anyway, I think it has a lot to stand up to because this Halloween event where they actually took Hawk Manor and redecorated it and repurposed it was something that we've kind of wanted from them to see what looks like effort in the event itself, as opposed to just making the towns look like they are part of the holiday that is in question. And
I don't even think it goes beyond effort in terms of the event itself. It goes more into, I guess, dev effort and what we might see in 4.0 with repurposing current assets that we have.
Yeah, because that was something that we told them, hey, you could just use this thing again and make something else with it. Like, we don't care necessarily if we don't go to someplace brand new, if it's offering something that's unique. And the Haunted House was definitely an experience that I felt was a good example of that. It also sort of set the precedent for random objectives within an instance and how groups could work and how well groups sort of adapted and worked together when objectives were random and the difficulty was varying. It had, for a holiday event, the reception was mostly positive. But if I was doing like a dungeon, like a daily dungeon, I'm curious if the reception would be anything like the same. I don't know. How do you feel? Because since we're talking about the Halloween event a lot right now, how would you feel if we had semi-random objectives like that? Because who knows? Maybe exploratory missions is like that, semi-random objectives. When we get that in 3.55, they seem to be applying.
Is it really semi-random though?
It's within a constraint. You just don't know which one. Like it's going to be like 1 of 7. It's not like you're going to get find the cookies while running away from your grandfather who forgot to put underwear on in a robe. Like it's not going to be that.
You really have to give that example.
I mean, it's only going to hurt you if you've experienced it as a kid. So yeah. I'm just saying it's not going to be it's not going to be that random. We call that hyperbole.
Oh God, sorry.
Yeah,
you must have had a fucked up childhood. I'm sorry.
No, that didn't happen to me. I was just looking for anything.
Yeah, sure.
I'm positive.
I'm actually okay with standardized objectives within a seasonal event because it's just a seasonal event.
I don't ever want to use the excuse it's just a seasonal event.
It's just a seasonal event. In all honesty,
if it's getting me to log into the game, it can't just be a seasonal event because that shit's done in 10 minutes.
Even though Halloween was an event that you had to do like multiple times to get everything out of it, and yes, it was fun. When I did it the first time, I really only did it once or twice.
I did it for like 3 hours straight because I was trying to give footage for a video and I could not get one of the objectives to spawn. I was like, I fucking can't get this. I don't know why this one won't. And then finally, I got it. I was so happy.
No, I did do the Posen Rangers event like repeatedly. Posing Rangers. I mean, come on.
See, but that's just favoritism. That has nothing to do. Those are both seasonal events.
Exactly. Yeah. It all depends on the event itself. I mean, again, it was fun. Halloween was fun. I thought it was unique. I thought it was a unique take of what they did with Hawk Manor. It just really didn't appeal to me like the Posen Rangers event did.
Well, let's read the description of the Starlight event. A Starlight celebrant of Ul'dah seeks to bring merriment and good cheer to the boys and girls of a local children's ward. If you would ensure these hapless younglings have a reason to smile this year, pray seek her out and learn what you can do to help. So that's as ambiguous as it gets, because that doesn't tell us
AKA an
shit.
old man chasing you with cookies.
Yeah, there you go. Just put cookies out for Santa and everything will be okay. And we're good.
Yeah.
And then from that, we get the Starlight robe, and we get the Starlight Celebration Orchestrion roll, the Starlight pillar, the Starlight wall-mounted. I guess this is a painting.
Yeah,
Or,
I think so.
Yeah, it's wall-mounted, so it looks like it's a painting or a poster.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Snowdrift outdoor fur. That's gonna be fucking hilarious. It's like in the middle of fucking summer, and you have snow.
Yeah, like Mist will be so
Snowy.
out of character to me. Like, why is there snow and Mist? This
Well,
is the
if
beach.
there's anything we've learned is that people love minor outdoor furnishings, looking AKA the fucking leaves in Aquapolis. We had the leaves drop the other day on like the second floor. Every time those leaves drop, I always think to myself, what kind of adventure opens this fucking treasure chest? There's titanium ingots in it. There's crystals. There's gil. And he goes, dude, there's fucking leaves in here. I'm going to be rich. So it's just, I can't ever get...
Only in Eorzea.
Yeah, only in Eorzea, and the Snowdrift is probably going to be very similar, minus the fact that this one's untradeable, so you're not going to be able to have as much. You're not going to make fucking 400k on fucking leaves.
No.
Or on this case, on snow. Like, I could just stick some in a fucking cooler and just bring it back. It's just, I don't know. I don't get the outdoor furnishing hype for these, like, minor outdoor furnishings like the Snowdrift and the fucking leaves. But yeah,
House Glam is in game too.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I just hope that it follows up after the Halloween event. I don't want to believe that the Halloween event, the quality of the Halloween event, is something that I shouldn't expect from the other.
So do you want to go? You want to go into Snorkloak for this one?
I'll
That
go
make
into
you
I'll go,
happy?
I'll go into Snorkloak if it's if let's say the Grinch stole Christmas, right? And he's in Snowcloak, and we have to go take the presents back from him without getting detected. I'm totally down for that.
It's Fenrir with the Santa hat. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, and then Fenrir with a Santa hat. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with giving every end boss in the entire game a Santa hat. Give Alexander a Santa hat. Give
Titan.
Give Titan a Santa hat. Give everything a Santa hat, and make it so that I can collect Santa hats from all the instances in the game. I'm good. And then I have to bring Santa hats to the children in order to make them happy. I don't know. Listen, I just want a fun event. And if I find out that this is a real event, I am done. Did WoW do that? See? WoW did it for WoW is like the Simpsons in this case. WoW did that.
Yeah.
Simpsons did it first.
Yeah,
There you go.
much.
The Grinch is that scientist guy from the Monk Quest. Yeah, there you go. He hates Christmas, that guy. Or something that's not just, hey, go fucking do 2 fetch quests for me and then go fuck off and play a different game because we're waiting on the next content.
Craft a bell.
Crafting a bell was not very interesting either, but it was interesting.
But it made a lot of money. Though.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was interesting seeing how it dominated the market.
For a week. Not even a week.
And then for Leviathan, you can put a hat on his head and his tail, since it's 2 different targets. Yeah, there you go.
And then Garuda would have the actual whole entire Starlight outfit.
There you go. Of course, you went straight to Garuda. I saw you looking up like this, like.
Mm.
There you go. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. There we go. I don't know. Man, Sly. Sometimes I don't know. But anyway, that's this Thursday. I'll probably log in, get it done in 15 minutes by the sounds of it, and then fuck off, just like they're telling me to, in a nutshell. So don't forget, Thursday, December 15th. That's a day after my mother's birthday. My mother's birthday is tomorrow, Sly. My birthday is in 2 weeks. We're gonna have a show on my birthday.
Yep.
Fuck. Good thing you can't punch me over the internet. Because I don't want to get punched 26 times plus 1 for good luck. I'm not down for that.
Sure.
I'm 100% positive.
We can get Aloha to do it.
Aloha loves me. He doesn't like Mel because she like terrorizes him. He'll be in the middle and he'll just be chilling. She'll be like, meow! And he'll be like, and I'm like, meow. I'm like, stop, please. Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's the Starlight Celebration. That's the first thing we want to talk about. Cross that one off the list.
Off the list.
Get it done on Thursday, and then don't do it anymore. Second thing I want to talk about, Sly. How's playing Final Fantasy XIV the past few days been for you?
I don't know about everybody else, but I was able to log on.
Yeah, so the funny thing about evenings is that it seems these issues only happened in the middle of the day. Some people, depending on your location, I know people in the West Coast and some people in the Midwest and whatnot had issues with this. There's been some recent server outages for Final Fantasy XIV. Now, to be fair, there were registered DDoS attacks. Like, there were DDoS attacks on multiple companies this last weekend or the last week or so. So more than just Final Fantasy XIV as a service has been affected. But it almost felt like every fucking time I wanted to log in to Final Fantasy XIV and do I got into the Aquapolis. We'd get to like the 5th floor and then everyone fucking disconnects. And I was like, God damn it. It took me like...
I don't know if like I've heard of people disconnecting. I just knew of people not being able to get on.
90K and then lobby server errors. It was
pretty
awful.
much. But somehow, some way, I was able to get on. And like, for example, yesterday I get on, and it is like the driest I've ever seen Idleshire.
Yeah,
Idleshire usually bustling. Not necessarily bustling, but it's pretty busy. And I get on. One person by the Aether, nobody by the stalls to get like scripture items or anything like that. Nobody.
Dude, everybody was having so many fucking problems. It was funny. So I was 19 out of 20 Aquapoli for to get the achievement for the Polis Lord, to get to the 7th floor 20 times. And we go in, and on the 3rd floor, somebody disconnects. And they come back on. We finish the 3rd floor. We get to the 4th floor. That person disconnects, and they don't come back on. We then take that to the 5th floor. Somebody who is dual boxing 2 healers, one of their 2 characters disconnects, but the other one is fine. We get to the 6th floor, and after a lot of red balling and praying for it to work, we get through. We wait on the 7th floor for like 15 minutes, hoping that somebody reconnects. And at this point, we go, if we don't go now, we're probably going to disconnect. So we did it. We got the 7th floor done. 5 minutes later, we all 90K'd. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, I've never had... like, Aquapolis' hidden mechanic. You could have Argus spawn. It could give you the light-up doors, Goblin Treasure Hunter, or you could 90K. And then
so that's a new Aquapolis mechanic now?
It's every single time I've gone into the Aquapolis in, like, the last 3 or 4 days, it's done that. Where, like, we get, like, a few floors up, and then everyone starts disconnecting, and then the servers start breaking. It's got to be my fault then, right?
Of course it is.
It's got to be my fault. It's not DDoS's. It's not DDoS's on level 3 or on the upstream internet service provider, that's what Square Enix says. Ongoing technical difficulties with the upstream internet service provider for the North American data centers. No, it was me doing Aquapolis. That was the problem. God damn. It was
because everybody's out to get you.
It is. Yeah, no, they're out to blame me. They specifically want to blame me for the problems. And listen, as much as it would be funny, it's not me. It's not my fault. I promise. I promise as much as I can humanly promise, which is not a lot. Why would I jeopardize my own Aquapolis runs? I want the 7th floor as badly as everyone else does. I think. I really wanted it.
You sure?
You
sure about that?
I'm 20 out of 20 now, man. Now I just do it for money. Money. And I'm trying to get to 100.
Isn't that what most people do it for anyway now?
Well, there's no other fucking reason to do it ever.
Yeah.
I was never like, let me go into the Aquapolis for the content.
First day it came out.
Dinero.
First day it came out, yeah.
No Robert, but it's definitely dinero. That's what I'm talking about.
That was terrible.
That was fantastic.
It was fucking terrible. But yeah, like the issue kind of, I guess, worked itself out. Luckily, like right before raid.
And see, whoever it was who did it to me is like, let me fuck with Happy and then let me make sure Sly is all right.
Yeah. Because apparently I could, nobody else could get on, but I signed on no problems. Hey, Sly, you're able to sign on? How? Fuck if I know. I just got on.
Oh, better getting on than getting off, I suppose.
But no. The fucked up part about that, I get fucking Circus Tower for a mental roulette with people, with the handful of people who were actually on. With the handful of people who are actually on, try to queue up for Weeping City, nothing.
Listen.
What the fuck is that about?
Crystal Tower is the real end game, okay? That's the truth, with some cheese on it. Yeah. Cheeseburger Eddie said so. I promise. I did Weeping City today, and it was one of the best Weeping Cities I've ever had. Most of my Weeping Cities in the past few weeks have been fantastic. We killed, or we pushed Forgal to the ad phase before he could summon the ads in the first phase a second time. So I was like, this is some boss-ass DPS we got going right here. Ozma got fucking annihilated. And then even I think every single person was alive at the end of Caliphystery. Which let's be honest, that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
That never happens anymore.
At least one or two. No. One or two bite the dust.
One or two of the fucking alliances, maybe. Because people are like, whoa, the tank's gonna turn. Oh. That's my experience with it. Or
people just eat debt charges.
Yeah, that's the other one. Nobody kills Bijous, or they kill the Bijous in the wrong fucking order. Oh my god. Well, hopefully these server outages don't continue. Hopefully they're done, because, man, I was like, okay, well, I've played most of Final Fantasy 15 at this point. Let me play some Final Fantasy 14. 90K, 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 2002, 5006. I'm just like, well, the gods have spoken, and I'm not supposed to play till 3.5, apparently. Apparently. So the next thing on the list is the Duality album. It is finally here. I don't have the physical one yet because I guess they got caught up in customs, North American customs, so they delayed it 2 days. And even still, I don't know that it actually has shipped. They've just let people know that it's like in the process of shipping. But man, this album is not as good, I feel, as From Astral to Umbral. Or From Umbral to Astral? Which fucking order was it? I don't even know.
Astral to Umbral.
Was it? Yeah, From Astral to Umbral. Yeah, I don't like this album as much as From Astral to Umbral.
I can kind of agree with you there. We were talking about it a bit before show, but a lot of the tracks, especially the Alexander tracks, Locust in general, not a lot of wubs.
Not enough wubs. So for the piano, the Imagination and Heroes are both fantastic. All the pianos are okay, but the Imagination and Heroes, which are Heroes being Thornton's theme, are great. For the band, I don't mind Unbreakable, Revenge Twofold, Imagination. Those are fine. I think Unbending Steel sounds like shit, which is Ravana's theme. When I heard it live, it was hype.
It was completely, that was the environment.
That's the environment, but it's also the way it comes out of like the live speakers. It was like, I'd rather they had just taken that and put that on an album than go into the studio.
Would you rather than do a live album then?
I'd rather they do a live album. Like one of my favorite albums of all time is Daft Punk's Alive 2007. It's a live album. And I get the atmosphere. I feel the atmosphere more. And I feel like the emotion the song is kind of going for. Unbending Steel just felt like some like random YouTuber just like took the lyrics and just did some like fucking something completely different with a guitar and then just said, here's Unbending Steel. I just feel like it was like the way it turned up on Duality is so much worse than what I heard. And I'm in no way looking forward to hearing that one again. Fiend and Heroes are probably the highlights of the two. Sephiroth sounds just as good on the album as it did live. Heroes sounds just as good on the album as it did live. Locus,
none of what's.
So the thing is, Locus is a song that's kind of hard to have high expectations of because it's a very electronic song.
Of course. But I mean, when I heard it live, I don't know how they could reproduce that electronic sound. I mean, it's possible, but in what the version we did get live was good. Like,
Yeah.
it was hype. It was hype. And again, that's kind of, I guess, 40% due to the environment. Like, we were all just fucking hype about it. I don't know, and whenever I hear it in game, I fucking get hype. That's the version I actually wish was on Duality.
Well, the thing is, so the most of Locus sounds exactly the same. There's only like a couple of parts with the guitar that sounds different. I'm actually playing a little bit of it right now on the stream itself. It just, I remember having the issue with it and seeing the complaint about this track on Reddit when the music video released for Locus. And because they did a music video of like a live recording they did, but it was still, all the audio was like, it went through a studio. And everyone was just like, man, this is not, like, I don't really feel like I'm listening to something that I would consider different enough to be like a Primal's song. Like, you can clearly tell there's some changes to, like, you know, the guitar riffs and whatnot, but it's almost too similar because of the vocoder vocals and the actual electronic sounds. Like this part right here that's playing that everyone's listening to. This part is clearly different, but it's just not. It's not a unique track. This doesn't, compared to the rest of the tracks, this doesn't sound unique at all. I felt so. I was kind of disappointed with Duality at the end of it all, and I don't care for Oblivion. I don't like Oblivion, the normal version. To me, it doesn't matter. This is the third version of Oblivion that I've heard. I'm not a fan of the song.
I was kind of feeling the acoustic version. I was kind of feeling it. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. So that has nothing to do with whether or not it's a quality song, because it is.
He just doesn't like Oblivion.
I just don't like Oblivion, like, as a song. So overall, I was pretty disappointed. I went back and listened to more from Astral to Umbral after going through the Duality tracks. So, and I was like, these are so much better. The Primals ones are so much better, especially the Primal songs. Like the original 6, even Shiva's theme, Oblivion, just they sound better than these new ones. I feel they didn't take enough liberties with these. Ifrit is an example of one where they took all the liberties, and it's like I could barely even identify it as Ifrit's theme at first, but I was like, this is fucking sweet. What is this? So I said it was Ifrit. I was like, okay, yeah, I can hear that, but holy shit, I wasn't even thinking about it. This is just straight up. Ugh, that was good. That was good. So sorry if you haven't gotten Duality yet. Now you're like, well, now I'm not as excited for it. Well, put it on the shelf and say it's a collector's item.
Again, a live album would be great.
I want a live album.
A live Primal set would be amazing.
Give me give me that. I want it.
Because we're like the Fan Fest are going to probably get completely different Primals concerts, other than maybe save a few songs.
I swear to God, if Japan gets good King Moggle Mog and we didn't, I'm gonna fucking find you, Soken. I'm gonna find you. And if they get forward and back, I'm gonna fucking find you. I'll be really surprised if they get any tracks other than these tracks.
Hell, if they get Rise, I will find you.
There's no way they get Rise. Who's gonna rap that?
Really? You're asking that question?
Soken's not gonna rap that. Koji is sure as hell is not gonna rap that.
Really? Come on.
Koji, listen, he's not pulling that off. You can pull off Titan, but you're not going to pull off Rise. That's way different.
Okay.
I don't think they'll get it.
One of these Fan Fests, we're going to get Rise.
Now, I wouldn't be opposed to them bringing in, the actual guy who does the vocals for it.
Yeah.
But it's not Koji or Soken. They're not gonna do. They can't rep the song. They can't rep those hot rhymes. They can't do that. They can't do A to the L to the Alexander. They ain't gonna rock that. I don't believe. Overall, if I had to make a recommendation for Duality, get the iTunes version. Just get the iTunes version. It's way cheaper, and you can just listen to the themes. You don't got to worry about customs. Isn't gonna hold up your Duality album on iTunes. Speaking of which, iTunes sucks nowadays, man.
It's all about the Apple Music now.
Yeah, well, they could fucking. When I eat apples, I don't like listening to music, so they need to stop it. What?
Just no.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No. Don't damn it.
No.
Besides, your mood's gonna be turned around with this next bit of news because this excites me.
This really excites me, and everybody should be excited for this. If you haven't heard about this, I know a lot of people are, FF9 fans. We got a lot of FF9 fans. Safe to say. Are you amenable to FF9?
It's not my favorite. I'm not a big Final Fantasy IX fan.
Well, there was, if anybody played FF9, you'll remember a play that you actually took a part of called "I Want to Be Your Canary."
Yes.
Well,
I got 100 nobles. I'm a boss.
So you got the Moonstone?
Oh yeah, give me that 100 nobles, baby.
Yeah. The good folks at a Stage Reborn, which is I don't want to call them a troop, in-game troop, but
just call them a free company. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of a free company in Diablos. They will be performing in-game "I Want to Be Your Canary."
They got a website for it and everything. It's stagereborn.com/canary. And actually, they even went ahead and made a 90-second trailer for the production. And I think some of you will recognize the events of this trailer. So, Sly, what do you say we show the people? Yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Now that's how you do.
A lot of people are excited for this.
Now that's how you do a trailer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and here's the thing: I've seen events like a fashion show. Never seen anything on this scale. Like the level of RP that goes into this is fucking amazing. I'm sorry. This is where this is a good example of RP done well. Like,
dude, that Queen Braun cracks me up every time. Just it's a male Rogadin with like pale white face paint,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Steiner is it's just funny.
I wonder how they're gonna do the battle sequences.
Dude, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I want like
That's why I want to go see it.
yes, and again, two showings. There will be two showings on December 30th and December 31st. Let me actually get back to the
5 p.m. PST.
5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
I don't know how much room they will have, since we probably showed this. Like, a lot of people are probably going to be interested in this. Now, there are rules. They like,
oh yeah,
a production like this, there are obviously going to be house rules, you know, because like usually when you go to a fashion show, you know, people are spamming everything they could possibly spam. Don't do that. That's a no-no. Like, this is an in-game production. Act like you're actually going to a theater in real life. Like, RP your ass off like you're in a theater.
Put on your RP hats.
Yeah, put on your RP hats. Just act like you got some sense. Hap, why don't you go over some of the house rules?
So a few things. One, this is going to be live streamed, twitch.tv/A Stage Reborn. And they'll be streaming it on Twitch and on YouTube both. So they have a Stage Reborn YouTube and a Stage Reborn Twitch. It's the 8th Ward Plot 28 of the Lavender Beds on the Diablo server. And if the turnout is incredibly high, they may do encore performances immediately following. Because the I Want to Be Canary is very short, especially because we only get to see a small portion of it in Final Fantasy IX itself. So they may do an encore performance at 5:30 p.m. PST. So if you're not there in time for the 5 o'clock, it might make the 5:30. Don't talk in chat, you fuckers. That's rule number 1. Don't talk in chat. Because people are trying to use the chat to, to read the actual play. And it's also going to distract the actual people who are putting on the show. Hide your weapons. That goes back to Sly's thing. Show some class. Consider hiding names so that all of the crowd doesn't, their name. It's one thing to have to look over somebody's shoulder. It's another thing to have to look over the name that's over their shoulder. It's like, all right, I can just, fuck, dude, your name. Get out of here. Pretty much. Do not use abilities.
First person.
They recommend
camera.
They recommend watching it in first person. Disable emote broadcast. Turn effects on. VIP box for VIP reservations. Don't sit if you're not in VIP. Don't sit in VIP.
Right.
In other words, and small model priority seating. In other words, Lalafels and female Auras get the front row, and Rogadin's you're fucking stuck in the back. That's why Queen Braun has the section all the way in the back.
Yeah,
it's exactly what it is. They're even going to have like ushers, and they have a few highlight scenes. Cast members taking bows. Pluto Knight versus Vivi. You have the first battle with King Leo, Marcus and Cornelia. You have the opening scene fireworks, Marcus and Cena, and then Queen Braun is going to be there as well. So it's actors, crew, special effects, ushers.
We need more of this, in my opinion.
And an open bar, I hope. Gotta bring the open bar.
Gotta bring the open bar. Hell, like, under normal circumstances, what I'd wear. I'd wear my golden subcigar with pride. I'll actually get dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah, I think that's more of a dress down kind of situation when you're only wearing underwear.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm gonna be classy about this. I actually really want to see this.
Yeah, I think I might go to the December 30th show.
Yeah, agreed.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's kind of tough to make New Year's Eve. So I don't actually have plans for New Year's Eve, but I'm just saying it might be tough to make New Year's Eve comparatively of the 2 days.
Right.
So I don't know. I think this is pretty cool. I think it's nice to highlight things like this that the community is doing. I saw that over on the official forums. there was some not dev replies, but like forum replies
Mhm.
of the post over there, encouraging it. And it's good because we like to talk about how there's no content and things like that. These are people who don't care. They're making their own content and entertaining everyone else who's paying their sub at the same time and streaming it live on Twitch for anyone who can't be there in game.
This is a perfect example of the community moving us forward in terms of content. Whenever you feel like there's a lull in content and things like this
Hope
happen,
that these guys put on more shows.
exactly. But the thing is, I don't know how. Like, there has to be a lot of work that goes into this, a lot of production value that goes into this. This is something that you really just can't do within within a month span. I think this would take quite some time, so it might be a while before we get something else like this. But I really hope they do another production like this.
Yeah, I mean, there are some other productions that they could probably do. Somebody recommended the Opera of Six. How the fuck are you going to do the Opera of Six? Unless
the wind up Ultros and Lalafels.
No, I mean more along the lines of like, how does that translate when there's like, would they just play the Final Fantasy VI track like on the live stream and then just act it
Probably.
out? Like,
Probably. That's what I'm thinking.
Because they can't play it in game. So like, if you go to see it in game, you're reading the chat. That's like the best you're gonna get is reading the chat.
So I think the live stream will probably be the best bet if they're gonna do an accurate soundtrack behind the play. Then I think the Twitch stream would probably be your best bet. In person's good too. I'm actually going to see it. I'm actually going to try to see it in person, but they might put a little bit more production behind the actual Twitch stream.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put that pressure on them, but it's interesting. They even recommend that if you're not someone who actually plays Final Fantasy XIV, but you want to see it, to make a trial account. I'm surprised that somebody didn't put their referral code on the website. Like, listen, man, if you're gonna come watch the play and you end up wanting to play the game after, you know what I mean? Just put in that referral code right there. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Diablos is never closed. Well, let's change that. Let's change that.
We'll change that.
Just remember to go to the website, read all the rules. It's stagereborn.com/canary. And interested to see what else these guys and other members of the community. There's actually some other interesting stuff happening community side. Like, I know there's the Extreme Makeover, or the not Extreme Makeover, Extreme what's it called? There is a housing. It's like a housing event where the people's houses are being judged. I can't remember what it's called. Let me pull it up real quick so I have something to refer to. Where is it? Eorzea Home Makeover Extreme.
Like the Festival of Houses, I think, that we usually have during holidays.
Let me read the details to you here. Let's see. Eorzea air begins to cool. Our weary adventurers seek to settle in their apartments and personal quarters to warm themselves from winter winds. Do you have what it takes to decorate a home worthy of the Warrior of Light? Put your interior design skills to the test by arranging a room in the theme of winter. And there's going to be a Scarf of Wondrous Wit as a reward, an Aramon choker, a Mandragora choker, a Bluebird earring, Noble Barding. And from these 50 winners, 3 will be selected for grand prize and receive 1 Taito Moogle lamp in addition to their choice of in-game item. Yeah, so...
and can you put the link to that in chat?
Yes, I can. Eorzea Home Makeover Extreme. And then there's all the contest rules and, whatever that I'm not going to read through and all that stuff. But there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff in here. And it's, I don't know. It's cool to have those events. These are things I'm never, like, those are the kind of things where you're like, oh, man, I wish I could do that. And it's like, you could, but I'm A, lazy, and B, not creative enough. So I don't.
But I know someone who is.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes. Who do you think did half of my shit?
Lex?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because it wasn't fucking you. You started.
I did half of it. Yeah, but
you started implying that it was like I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do all this shit. It's like, but you know someone who is, and you went like this, and I was like, you don't fucking know shit. What are you talking about?
no, I know nothing. I just want the manliest shit. Yeah, just put a fucking demon wall with indoor plumbing, and then Ifrit's head on the wall, and meanwhile there's just
you know what I'll do? What if I could pretend to be like somebody who lives in a cardboard box. I could just like put like a tiny like little set of walls and then some leaves. There you go. And that's how I'm staying warm for the winter. It's like I'm doing the whole play on like, you know, I don't have a place to be this winter. Right. So I'm all sad. It's a sad story behind it, man.
Yeah, well, right now it's too late to get entries because entries were done on December 5th.
Who says entries, man? This is my life.
God.
Oh, you know what you do? You go outside of a house and you make a chocobo stable. You let it get all shitty, like when you don't clean it for a while, and then you say, "This is my winter home." That's what you do. No?
But all in all, no.
Why not?
Never.
I don't think that actually is allowed for the rules because I believe it specifically says it needs to be indoors.
Yeah.
So I can't just. I
mean, who knows? They might make a contest one day for outdoor furnishings.
One day, yeah, maybe for summer they do the opposite. It's like, oh, in the summers, welcome to the great outdoors. How are you inviting your fellow neighbors to?
And it would be a mist house that wins every fucking time because people love mist.
Well, it's mostly the mist. That's because the mist is the best. So it's like.
Nope. Country living, man. It's all about that country living.
To be fair, I wouldn't want to spend a summer in a goddamn forest, Sly. I'm not Tarzan. I'm a fucking civil.
Living.
What the fuck country living is that? It's like a Florida swamp.
No, it's not.
It's crocodiles and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's the beginning of Weeping City? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Except there's more trees. I'm telling you, man. I would not want to spend a summer in a fucking forest. I'm a civil human being.
So you'd rather spend it in the goblet?
No.
Okay, then.
That's more of like because I'm afraid of heights, though.
Right.
And I don't want to just. If you're afraid of heights and there's no railings, then it's bad news bears, man. It's very bad news bears. The wood for life. You might want to rephrase that sentence. Anyway. How
you doing?
How you doing? All right, so the next thing on our list of news. Oh yeah, so by the way, go see I Want to Be Your Canary, and best of luck on the shows of Stage Reborn. Hopefully, I'll be attending, if not watching on Twitch, one of them. So next up on the list, we have Yoshi P's interview with Game Focus. Focus.
This is actually a good interview. It kind of opened my eyes to a few things in terms of one. Yoshi P's mindset in terms of the game and what he wants to do outside of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the first part is talking about the MMORPG genre and how they Yoshi
Are they dead?
Yeah, is the genre dead because of how hard it is? He goes talking about he feels like it's going to be another 10 to 15 years before the MMO genre. He feels like the MMO genre is always going to be kind of on the up and down. And I guess that kind of shows with gaming in general. I mean, if you even just look at
MOBAs right now.
Yeah, I mean, MOBAs like Warcraft 3 and whatnot. Well, Warcraft 3 and MOBAs, I should say. Dota is a MOBA that was created using Warcraft 3. And, those were really popular in the 90s, but we didn't really have the tools to do so much with them. So they kind of fell off for a while. Then they came back. And then you had all the old games that came out back in the 90s. And we've had a lot of relaunches and games and ideas that are coming back again. Like you have Final Fantasy VII at its peak. We have Remake again because it was Final Fantasy VII, then declined, then now it's popular again. I don't know. I feel like that's just the gaming genre as a whole is ideas. Yeah, ideas come and go like a big thing since Telltale has been, games that are all narrative and not so much narrative and choice versus gameplay. So that's currently at its peak, and then that'll probably dip and then come back in 10 years or something like that. So I guess I can understand.
Yeah, but one thing in this part of the interview that kind of stuck out to me was that MMOs can't be successful unless they're on a larger scale, which I agree with to a certain extent. But what does that say for smaller MMOs, a la Blade and Soul, Arcade, Black Desert? What does that say about that?
Well, what it says is, most importantly, is that the problem with MMOs is the amount of money it takes to create one versus the amount of money it takes to continue to support one. You can create an MMO and that's fine, but eventually everyone who plays an MMO is like, okay, what's the next content that I'm getting? What's the next big thing? That's like the MMO genre in a whole. What's the next big thing? Right? And if your MMO isn't super popular, you don't have the funds to develop content for it frequently, then you end up in a place where, you have this small niche community that loves your game and supports it, and you can continue to support it, but you can't grow it at that point. It's almost like a feast or famine kind of thing. You need a ton of people to support an MMO in order to consistently develop good quality content, not just content, like things that people actually will say, oh, hey, I'll resubscribe to play that, or wow, this is so worth my sub right now. But you don't have the subs to get there, and you can't get the subs without doing some sort of big thing. I mean, we just had Arcade do their Revelation patch, and now everybody's trying to play Arcade again. And so many people said, oh, I'm never going to fucking play Arcade again. And, they ruined it with this and that. But look at this. As soon as they take the time and say, you know what, here, we're going to do this whole huge new thing. And that drew a bunch of people back. Great. But they're still going to, but that's the only thing. It's like this, just like we were describing earlier with MMOs. All MMOs kind of do that trend where it's a wave, and that's
and even in the first part of the interview, he says like a lot of companies see MMOs as a risk. Thus, it's hard for a lot of developers to put MMOs out there because companies don't want to take that risk.
Well, the big risk here is that you're trying to get people. Here's the thing: if you make an MMO free to play, okay, you've lowered the barrier for entry, but there's no guarantee that anybody who makes an account is going to actually spend money on your game. You have no way to monetize them. You're just kind of hoping they like what they play and that they decide to spend money. And then you have people who spend a very little money. You have people who spend, God knows, way more money than they should. And then that's your income is a mix of those people. Then you have the option to put a buy-to-play option where it's like, well, we'd like to get the initial return on investment, and then we can still also sell people in-game items like the free-to-play games. So then people are a little bit put off because they're like, oh, buy-to-play with a cash shop? That's kind of messed up, man. And then you get the Final Fantasy XIV where it's not an in-game cash shop, but they have an optional item store, but it's not only you need to purchase the item, but you need to pay a monthly subscription to be on the game. That's even more daunting for people to get into the genre. And then on top of that, you have these external means of bringing money into the game. And it's just that there's so many different ways to sort of approach MMOs and monetizing them that they're all risky. They all have such inherent risks, and the more monetization platforms you add, the kind of more hesitant people sometimes become, unless you've created a high quality product or a product that is a result of years and years and years of a loyal fan base. And even that's not always enough, a la Elder Scrolls, which ran into issues until they started changing up their monetization platform to better match what their community was actually able to support. And then you also have things like founders packs and, selling inventory space and pets, and, it gets super complicated and super difficult to nail down. And then do you take time?
Hey, I would buy the shit out of fucking inventory space right now.
We all
do
would.
That.
Where are your 8 retainers?
Do that, please.
Where are your 8 retainers, Sly?
Please do that. 2, really had 2. I tried.
So then what? But you just said you'd buy more.
More inventory space, period.
Yeah, they have inventory space.
On me.
They're part of your character.
God damn it.
Come on.
You know what I mean.
No.
Like, inventory space without the use of a retainer.
Got your armoire. We need more everything.
You're just trying. Yeah. We do need
more everything.
Space. Yeah.
We need more fucking everything is what we need. Well, luckily we're getting more everything come expansion. Right. So, pushing the limit, however much we can actually do, as much as possible was the description of how much more inventory space we will be getting. So after that, he moves on. By the way, Yoshi P is turning 44 in 2017. He looks like he's 70 from what this game has done to his health. Dude, I'm always afraid for Yoshi.
He goes into that, but that's later on in the interview. The next section talks about Final Fantasy XIV being the MMO for beginners, aka hap casual.
Yeah. What's interesting about this is he kind of talks about MMOs that are very flashy from the beginning versus MMOs that do slow, gradual build. Which they say Final Fantasy XIV, the first half isn't as exciting. They flat out say they know that, but there's a hesitancy to just make all your skills flashy right from the get go. Like that's what a lot of Korean games do. All your skills are super flashy and over the top right from the get go to pull you in, but then you're kind of never excited about a new skill at that point. Like it's just more clutter on the screen, in a sense. So they talk a little bit about that, and that MMOs really need to keep the next generation of gamers in mind, because you can keep playing to all the old people, all of us vets who always say that they should tailor the game around us kind of thing. And we had a lot of this discussion last week. But here's the thing. The previous generation will always kind of, their lives get busier and busier. They get farther and farther away. You need to be like, okay, the next generation. So you guys are the next generation. It's almost like, college, they're like, oh yeah, you went here. Oh man, that's really cool. I can relate to that. And then it's like, but these people are paying our fucking bills right now. The people who are actually going to the fucking school. So we're going to worry about them. We don't care if you think that, Math 201 should be easier. Nobody gives a shit. You paid us. You're out of here. Fuck off. They're paying the bills right now. That's kind of like how MMOs, how he's describing it. Yeah. Always worry about the up-and-coming generation and not the generation that's past kind of deal.
But going back to one point within this, developers wonder if it's a good idea to introduce complex skills and systems from the get-go. I think it's a great idea, but the way you present it,
people don't understand
this. We've talked about this before. I think the way you present it is the key. Thus, what we've been talking about, things like the Hall of Novice and hopefully the Hall of the Intermediate, that would be good ways to go about this in learning these complex skills. And purists might call it hand-holding. Yeah, it might be, essentially. But is it really hand-holding when you want people to grasp the skills, grasp the mechanics?
Back in my day, I had to read my skills. Now they tell me what they do.
Yeah, we had to read all the fucking tooltips and all that shit.
We had to think about our rotations. Now they just tell you in the game. Back
but
in
is
my
it
day,
really...
during the Twintanya fight, the Bahamut had a whole hand. Now they cut half of his hand off.
We only fight her on a finger. But is it really hand-holding to want people to grasp these mechanics and want them to play at a mid to high level?
That has nothing to do with making the first half of the game flashy. That has nothing to do, it doesn't matter when you introduce the systems, because if people don't want to fucking learn it, they're not going to fucking learn it. If you try to give them the slow crawl of here's the first few. Okay, now here's a few more things. Okay, now everything's starting to come together. All right, now you're complete. And nowhere along the lines they actually pick up any of that information and apply it. Then putting it at the beginning is just a quick way for them to be like, wow, I'm never going to be able to do that. Fuck it, let's keep playing. I think that the thing they're talking about more that is making the skill, what if Stone 1, instead of it just being like, pew, 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 it's like, and then Stone 2 is like, and Stone 3 is like, those are all really flashy.
I don't think people are really, once you really grasp everything, I don't think people are really interested in Flash, more along the lines of, I actually want to do my fucking job.
Dude, I don't know. People don't even want to do that, so it's kind of rough. It's kind of a rough scenario we got going here. I mean, I'm okay with the idea of making the beginning of the game a little flashier, even if it's just in like the boss animations, if it's not like what the character's actually capable of with the boss animations. But I've always liked the idea of starting weak and building up the cool shit later, because I have something to look forward to later. I feel like if I don't have something...
Blood of the Dragon, Gear Skogul, all the cool shit.
Yeah, Blood of the Dragon, Gear Skogul. Like, those are flashy fucking skills. I like building up to those eventually. I don't like getting those right at the get-go, because then it's like, okay, what's the next one going to look like? Oh, well, I don't like that as much as the last one. I like, it's like, oh, I want to PogChamp every single time I get a new skill, like, after level 45. Because I'm like, oh, these skills are sick. AoE stun? Oh...
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, people should be concerned about the actual mechanics of the skill, not just how the skill looks. Hell, I'm playing, what am I doing right now? Scholar and Summoner right now.
Yeah.
Bane looks like a fucking fart.
Yeah, it's just, you just farted off the enemy.
But it's such a good skill. I love it. I love it.
I just got I got my 275 book for my Summoner that I've never played before.
Nice.
That I've never played before. Ever.
Hey, you would have loved our group. We've gotten like 2 Monk Fists of all of our clears, and nobody fucking plays Monk.
Man, hashtag 2 monks. Looks like your raid group. Looks like your raid group at least knows what the trailer was about. Anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they just talk about Final Fantasy XIV, how it's an MMO for beginners, how they're trying to keep the next generation of gamers and trying to get them into the genre as opposed to strictly appealing. They want to appeal to the old school when they can, because they're there and they play the game, but they have to keep in mind that new players they need the new generation, because eventually our generation gets tired of the shit, our lives get busier, so they need to focus on the next generation whose lives aren't as busy and get them to fucking play the game. That seems to be the idea, which I get, because as a business you can't, Final Fantasy XI doesn't do that shit. Final Fantasy XI is like, just, here you go. Here's the fucking 2 bosses a month. Just shut the fuck up. All right. There you go. Ambuscade. There you go. You want to fight? We're just going to give... And they just give everything fancy names. Like, just... Here, let me see if I have an email. Yeah, I have an email from them for the most recent thing that they've released. Here it is. Final Fantasy XI. Omens of the Future. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's the same shit they've been doing forever, but they call it something real hype, like Omens of the Future. And then Ambuscade. But they're just like, here's fucking fight fucking 5 bad guys and go home. So,
is that what the far end of Fate would be for us?
Yeah, pretty much.
The far edge Fate, excuse me.
Far edge of Fate. Well, the edge was calling tonight, so I guess that only makes sense. And then this is something that I was surprised they just even asked about. They asked them about the female population of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, this kind of surprised me, because to me this is an issue. I feel like right now this is a non-issue because we really don't talk about it.
Well, there's no issue here, dude. Girls play games. Why is for so long it's been like, I just want equality in games for everybody. Just female gamer. No, they're just a fucking gamer. Like, that's it. Like, you don't need, they're equal. Like, but for this it becomes an entire topic within the actual article itself. And they talk about how, like, Final Fantasy XIV is maybe more approachable to female gamers because they have skimpy options, they have non-skimpy options, and things like that. And
it's coming. Yoshi P never cared for equipment that shows too much skin.
So to clarify,
wait, Todd, the glamour market would beg to disagree with you. I'm so sorry.
No, so what I think in the actual translation for that, it's more referring to when a male avatar and a female avatar have the same exact armor, and one piece, like on the male, is just completely covers his body, and it looks like it's, a plate armor. And then on the female, it's like a bra and panties, but it's the same exact piece of gear. I think that's what the actual, like, translation of the real interview was like that different. Like, he's not a fan of doing that. Which makes sense, because that never made fucking sense to me anyway. But, I mean, it mostly just talks about how you have a choice. Do you want to be skimpy? Do you not want to be skimpy? they try to make sure there's different outfits for everything, cute outfits, sexy outfits, things like that. And I guess as a result, female gamers are more accepting of Final Fantasy 14. I don't feel like they feel like they just ask him about female gamers in Final Fantasy 14, and they never actually kind of. There's no like they're just asking. Like there's no like end goal to the question. So there's just a bunch of statements about Final Fantasy 14 and the female players. So like this one, you can see underwear by taking off equipment, but after analyzing data, he was able to find that not many of the female players do so on purpose. It's like,
no,
why
it's
do you,
mostly the
why
male,
do you have
the male players with female avatars.
Why do you have that statistic on hand?
How is that even a statistic? And again, it's probably mostly the male players with female avatars.
Why do they have that? He like has that information is like fresh in his mind when this interview is happening.
I'm surprised it's not part of the census.
Yeah, at this point, might as well put it on the fucking census every year.
Yeah.
And then after that, he talks about new games he'd like to make. He's been talking about this for a while. He does not want to work as both producer and director for Final Fantasy 14.
But question. Once he does quit as producer, do you think that would diminish the product in the future?
It's possible. A lot of people have a lot of confidence in him, so they'd be hard pressed to. The next person who steps up would like be under such a magnifying glass. Like they would just be under so much scrutinization if they did anything wrong. Bring back Yoshi P. Blah blah blah. But he says that if only somebody could step up as producer, he would quit in a heartbeat.
That kind of tells you how stressed the man is.
Like I said, 70 years old. He's 44.
And he still wants to make games. Yeah, I honestly think if he were to step down, if the game would suffer, but I wouldn't say to near 1.0 levels, but it would suffer a little bit.
I don't know. Sometimes a fresh perspective from a new producer is not an inherently bad thing. Sometimes it's exactly what you need to redirect your game and give it the next push that it needs. It seems that his issue is there's nobody else as motivated to continue to develop it as him.
Because they know the stress he goes through.
They're like, yo, listen, I thought I wanted to do that shit, but then I saw, dude, he was 40. He was 40 when we met him. He's 44 now. He went from being 40 years old to being 80 years old in the last 4 years. He's like, he pulled a Britney Spears where she was like a teen pop star when I was growing up, and now she's my age. Like, I don't even want that. Like, that's not the life I'm trying to be about right now. And but so it looks like he'll be working on the game for a pretty friggin' long time. He has a lot he still wants to do with Final Fantasy 14. A lot.
Hell, he even has 4 games he wants to do after Final Fantasy 14.
I want to know what those 4 games are. Like what?
Yeah, one, I want to know what they are. 2, we probably won't even see a hint of it until about like a decade from now,
if even at this pace. Like, that's a crazy thing to think. He's got 4 games. Like, that means what the fuck does that even mean? He's got 4 games he wants to work on.
17?
I don't know what that means. Like, does that mean like he wants
Is it even an FF? I don't know.
Is it like an original? Is it like when, you know how like us, like sometimes you just come up with ideas for like a video game and you just jot them down? Like, is that what he's talking? Like, what does that even mean? You know what I like? What is he just 4 games? Does it mean like 4 games maximum? Does he know exactly what the 4 games are? What the fuck? Well, maybe he'll raise a successor. He says that he would maybe one day raise a successor, but there's no one who.
When he trusts, like when he trusts somebody enough to do it, and
there's nobody. He said there's nobody worthy. There's nobody worthy enough to be his successor.
Yeah.
And then he said his favorite character from Final Fantasy was Sephiroth, and we were like, well, never mind, fuck this guy. Sephiroth, that's your favorite character. Lol, Final Fantasy VII, so lame. Sorry, I'm just being the internet right now.
Yeah.
Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good job.
Just making sure that I accurately represented the way the internet replies to that statement. Yeah, just make Yoshi P have a kid, force him to procreate, and then from birth, you raise that kid to be the next Yoshi P.
So once he gets out of university, he's
never even going to go to university. They're going to specialize him. They're going to be he's going to come out of the womb, and they're going to put him into a Moogle bag or something. And when he goes home, he's going to fall asleep to the piano theme for Imagination. And then at the age of 2, he'll design his first job, and it'll be Dancer, because by then Dancer will probably be out. That far into the future, maybe we'll have Dancer. For now,
probably.
Hashtag 2 monks.
2 monks.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man. Well, hopefully Yoshi P gets to sleep at some point, because it sounds like he does not at all. Sounds like he never gets to sleep.
Nope.
So one final detail that I want to cover before we wrap up this show. So the digests, the official digests for the live letters 32 and 33 were both released recently. And almost everything is pretty consistent with what we had initially heard from the original ones. But there are a few things that were clarified, especially in part 33, which was the 3.5 preview part 1. Specifically, I am going to go to exploratory missions. Woohoo! Let's see. Well, we also have Slyh and I is also mentioned here. Players will receive gathering and crafting requests for collectible items from specific NPCs to strive and raise their satisfaction levels. It's planning on introducing. This content will eventually be expanded to focus on glamours, and we'd like to have players be judged on their glamour. So for Slyh and I, we were wondering what they meant by incorporate glamour. The NPCs are actually going to look at you and be like, who's this fucking scrub over here? What the fuck is that? What, did your mom give you those pants? Did you buy them from Target? Fucking pathetic. Get out of here.
So we were right all these years when we said glamour is the true end game.
It's gonna be the true end game apparently, because that's what this implies, I guess, right here. Imagine an NPC asking you that. Did your mom get you those pants? Did your mom buy you those subligars? You look like a giant baby. That's part.
Right, thank you.
Why, thank you. Would you like to put some lotion on me? There you go. That's what you say. If somebody says you look like if the woman says you look like a giant baby, go, yes, I do. Would you like to put some lotion on me? There you go.
No, you got to give them the oil like Godbert.
Yeah, you got to give them the oil like Godbert and just flex it out, and then you'll be good to go. Now, an interesting thing what I originally wanted to get into before noticing this Slyh and I part is exploratory missions. So they put a lot of thought into whether we should create a new name. We were wondering why Diadem was still Diadem, right? Because they originally said they wanted to make a new zone, something that wasn't the Diadem. They said that a large cataclysmic event took place, making the current Diadem area a thing of the past. The map itself hasn't changed, which is dumb because you just told me there's a cataclysmic event, but there will be areas you can and cannot enter. That's a very deep... First of all, how did you have a large cataclysmic event
that we didn't know about?
Unless they're talking about, like, Diadem itself is the result, like, the lore behind Diadem is it only exists because of a previous cataclysmic event, which, considering there's dinosaurs on the islands, is...
Are they talking about the change?
I don't know. I feel like they're talking about Diadem. Like, Diadem itself was kind of lost in history kind of deal. That's kind of how I
mean, did we really ever get this explanation to begin with when we first got Diadem?
Not really.
Okay, so it might be explaining Diadem, what it is in general.
It's just interesting to me that the map hasn't changed. It's just that there are areas you can and cannot enter now.
And that's one phrase that kind of alludes to the fact that they're talking about a different Diadem. Maybe something happened that we don't know about. And again, how did we not know about this change the entire time? Well, okay. Well, no. There's a reason for that. We haven't even paid attention to Diadem. That's how we know about the change.
Yeah, they could change it all they want. I'm never going to go there. How the fuck am I?
Yeah, we haven't gone there. Like, people don't go there.
Previous to 3.5, previous to 3.5, when the old diadem gets shut down, I want to make a diadem party for old time's sake.
Right.
Just a 72-man diadem party to go in and fuck shit up. Just for old time's sake. I want to fucking do that. And I'll use the cross-server party finder. What womp womp womp. Can't do it. Can't be done. So the previous exploratory missions theme was to have players decide on how they want to enjoy the content. However, this time we set objectives for players to complete and rewards for completion. There are some surprises as well. For example, if you're lucky, you may encounter a boss battle which involves the entire map. These battles will be difficult to complete without 4 parties working together as a team. So when we heard that initially, we didn't know if they meant a 4-player party. This has been clarified. It says 4 parties.
4 parties.
Yes. So I don't know. I want to know surprises because it just sounds like almost like short missions equivalent to kind of what you do in a dungeon in a sense. And it's just that it's a bunch of short missions. Like instead of doing a 20-minute dungeon, you can do a bunch of 5 or 6 minute exploratory missions or something like that. You know, I don't really anticipate what is going to surprise me. What will fucking surprise me? That's what I want to know. How are they going to actually surprise me with this content? How are they going to surprise you, Sly?
There's no real way they possibly could. I mean, an enemy that involves the entire map. And the only thing, like when you say that, the only thing that really comes to mind for me is Proto Ultima. And I don't think they would implement them here.
Well, and Odin. And Behemoth.
Odin, yeah.
You know, just only the biggest fates that there are, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't think ultimately Diadem is going to be
cautiously.
You know what? Yeah. You know my chat that says, you know what would surprise me? It's good. That would surprise me. There you go.
True. Very true.
It's like, wow, this is good. They were right. There are a lot of surprises here. Holy shit. I can't. Wow. They actually did something here. Yeah, we'll see what actually ends up working out. They said it's scheduled for release 3.5x, so we're expecting 3.55. Unless they do it like even closer to the expansion's release to kind of like tide people over. Like, yeah, we'll release it down the line so we can entertain people. Dude, I'm telling you, just make it drop like item level 300 shit. Who gives a fuck at that point? The expansion comes out like 2 fucking months later, 3 months later.
We'll be ready for the expansion.
There you go. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Just make it do all kinds of crazy stuff. Make the rewards just these fucking nutty, crazy things. Like, that would surprise me as well. There you go. You want to surprise me? Do that. That would excite me. They said they'll tell us more about it in the patch 3.5 special part 2, which is in 10 days. 11 days and 11 minutes. 11 days and 11 minutes. That's the opening. That's actually the opening ceremony for the second day. It's not the actual time of the live letter, but the actual opening keynote is in 10 days and 11 minutes. Because it's Friday night, thankfully. And I just got paid. I had to go there. Well, all right, Peter. There you go. Yeah, so that's the last little thing we'll cover. We'll also talk about it next week. For those who are looking forward to watching the Japanese Fan Fest. Someone said NSYNC. Is that NSYNC? Didn't somebody do that before NSYNC? Isn't that originally not an NSYNC track?
Yeah, it was like 92.
Yeah, it's like way before NSYNC that track. Like that track was not. Now we know you had to listen to NSYNC to know that they redid that song.
From dancing.
There you go. Stop it. Anyway, so they gave us the details on how to purchase the live stream. So there is an English live stream, just to be clear with everyone. But there's a catch. So first of all, you can buy it on Nico Nico or you can buy it on Kling. As much as Kling doesn't give me... I'm not excited to buy it on Kling. I'm a million times more excited to watch it on Kling than I am on Nico Nico. Fuck that. Nico Nico sucks if you don't live in Japan. Like 90% of the payment methods are Japan only, and the few that do work barely fucking work because they can tell your card isn't from Japan. So...
Yeah, that's true. Like I know I had the last time there was a Japanese fan fest, and I tried to buy the Nico Nico stream. It was fucking awful.
I love the look on your face.
No, I wouldn't want to go through that again. I mean, the stream itself was okay, but the process of getting that stream, yeah.
And if you weren't Nico Nico Premium and you had all the messages flying across the fucking screen.
Yeah, exactly. All the fucking time. Like you can't really have a dedicated chat box. You just have to have that shit go across your screen.
They had both. They had both. Oh, man. And so the English live stream, here's the catch. All of the show events are in Japanese. All of them. The only difference is that with the English live stream, between stage events, they do an English recap of everything that they just went over. So that's every single panel, by the way. Opening keynote immediately following has an hour before the Ultima quiz. Then after the Ultima quiz, they have some time. Oh, the letter from the producer live is the same night as the fucking opening keynote.
Because isn't it just one? No,
it's 2 days.
2 days. Okay.
But it's opening keynote 5:30 p.m. PST and letter from the producer live at 9 p.m. PST. The same fucking night instead of doing it across 2 nights.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well,
it's a lot of hype in one night.
And Marco, by the way, is going to be at FanFest, so he's not translating. So
sorry.
Just to be clear,
let the man enjoy FanFest.
Yeah, let the man. I mean, he's
he's
still there. He's
so
still
much.
there on business, but
yeah,
you know.
He's translated so much for us that he has to actually get to enjoy it.
God, what the fuck, dude? We got to do 2 different shows on that. We can't have a fucking show on Tuesday about both the opening keynote and the letter. We're fucked.
Do we want to pull I'm not doing this on Tuesday again
and do one on Saturday, one on Tuesday? That wouldn't even be a don't do. Oh, you mean that week? Like instead of doing the show next Tuesday, the 20th, we do it on Christmas Eve. That's kind of fucked, man. That's kind of fucked.
I mean, okay, wait, seriously, like everybody in chat, even though you're with your families and whatnot, would you actually show up to a Christmas Eve, stay in the room?
I don't know, man. We did the opening keynote. We did the opening keynote and the letter from the producer live after the North America Fan Fest.
Right.
We covered all of the fan festival. It was a pain in the fucking ass, but we did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we might be okay to just do it all on a Tuesday.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay. Maybe.
People said they would show up.
The piano concert is on the first day, by the way, and the Primal concert's on the second day.
Only if we wear Santa hats.
So
we have to wear Santa hats.
One interesting panel that I might try to catch on the 24th is the dev panel. It is literally just called December 24th, 8:30 p.m. PST dev panel.
We had a dev panel.
Yeah, but that was a really good panel. So I kind of want to catch this one, or at least the description of it, the day after. I'll tell you what.
Is this where we found out that Ozma Savage is real? It's going to be a thing.
Is this where they confirm it again?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, this is
more with the mechanics.
We show even more that they've done. Yeah, so that's at least there is going to be an English recap. Luckily, they use enough slides with English on them nowadays, so I'm kind of excited that I may not need the English immediately after. And besides, if I'm streaming live on Twitch, by the way, you can't restream this shit, by the way, guys. They will kick your fucking ass legally if you try to. So like even if Sly or myself were to stream at the same time, there can't be a multi-Twitch. We can't restream it. We would just be sitting there reacting, basically, which I'm not opposed to doing. I just play some music, go to gaming talk shows, and have a fucking ball. But, yeah. Hopefully it's a good show. I can't wait for them to confirm #2monks. Yeah. Don't give me that. Don't give me that, Sly.
I just want my belly dancer outfit. That's all I want.
Anyway, on that note, still not hearing about that fucking app that's supposed to come out around 3.5. Hopefully we get some information about that. At this point, 10 days and 4 minutes. 10 days and 4 minutes till the opening keynote. What? What do you know in your head at me for?
No, like when you keep telling me, when you first told me the time, I'm assuming that you were looking at like a Reddit timer. No, you had this shit on your phone.
No, I can fucking math, dude. It's December 13th. The stream is on the 23rd. It's 5:27 p.m. PST. It starts at 5:30. I'm just fucking mathing. Dude, just fucking math with me, bro.
Math with you.
Yeah,
Do
math
math.
with me.
Do math.
Math with me. There you go.
Don't.
I did. It's too late. It's been done.
No.
It's too late. All right, on that note, everybody, though, I think we are going to wrap up the show today. It's a good show. I had fun.
Sure.
I want to see. I want to be your canary.
Yeah.
I want to see it. That's what
Go
I
see
want to
it.
see.
If you're able to make it on Diablos, go see it. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that shit.
You can make it onto Diablos. Trust me.
No, I'm just talking about make it to the show, because we don't know.
If you can't, then just fucking watch it on Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, because I still don't know what their accommodations will be like. Again, I'm talking like this is an actual theater, but it's a production, and I'm excited for this.
They got ushers. They got people to see to your fucking seats.
I wonder if they'll have a concession stand outside.
If there's no open bar, then they don't does the concessions. I don't need them.
Okay.
There you go. On that note, everybody, we're going to call it a show for the week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sly, why don't you tell me where they can find you at, my man?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyakagreyfox07. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox. You can find me on Facebook at Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Behemoth Plot 14 Ward 5. But I won't be there tonight since I'm going to try to do some in-game 15 stuff.
What kind of in-game 15 stuff?
Dungeons, a little bit of fish and chill, a little bit of grind work, because I finished the game at like 50 something. So if I'm gonna be doing in-game stuff, I need to exploit a little bit.
A little bit. There's other power leveling methods. There's a hunt you can do with the ring.
The Ring of the Lucia.
Yeah.
And
all you do is you just kill the 7 mobs over and over, and you just keep reaccepting the hunt.
I know which one you're talking about. There are a lot of hunts you could do that. Well, not a lot.
There's one of them that's better than the rest, though.
Okay, so you don't do the Yojimbo, do you?
Nope. Nope. And I am your other host, which I speaking of 15, this is my fucking background for it right now. You can find me, Mr. Happy 1227, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Those are the 5 things that I usually say. And my life is empty now, waiting for Final Fantasy 15 DLC and Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and patch 3.5 and Zodiac Age. Oh, and Kupo-Kan. Oh, and Horizon Zero Dawn.
No Neil?
Well, that's after that.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, guys, we're going to go move over into a post-show. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We will see you next week for Stay the Realm, number 95.
See you next week.
I'll see you. That's how I say bye to Sly every day.